All right. We're live. It says we are, but I don't trust it. The funny thing is, look, Forrest got in here. I set this up this morning and I looked at it at 7:13. Forrest was in here at 7:37 saying that's how you feel when you realize you're 12 hours early.
Yep.
So, and Bill's
Hey,
here.
Bill is in here. Hey,
Yeah.
Bill. So, hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Homestead HQ, where we talk about homesteading and preparedness. My name is Shelly, and this is...
I'm Jason, and I think we're both tired. We were on here talking before, and we were both. I've started yawning for like no reason.
He was yawning bad. Usually it's me, but he was yawning bad.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not like I really killed myself today or anything. So I don't know. I think just like sitting there is kind of like, I feel, but I got all kinds of stuff to do after this anyway. So I need to wake up. So, all right.
I have to go to bed after this. So, I'll just wind down.
I got a bunch of crap to do. So I got to mess around on the website some, do some stuff like that. And I don't know. I got to come up with a topic for Friday. I've got to get that. So I'll do that and work on the Friday show.
What was your topic Tuesday? Yesterday? Was that yesterday? I watched it, but I can't remember what it was.
Let me see. What emergency services going down?
Yeah, emergency services.
Well, and Miss Sharon is here. Hey, Miss Sharon. Sage Creek Preppers here up in Lexington.
Hey, there's Greg. I see Greg. Yep. How's Mary Beth doing?
Yeah, we want to know how she's doing. And if you don't want to tell us live for all 20,000 people to see and read, just text us.
Yeah.
I hope she's doing good, though.
And let her know that we're praying for
her. All right. What have you been doing, Shelly? Nothing.
What haven't I been doing, Jason? I put up 45 quarts of cranberry juice.
That's a lot.
45. But I found out because, I told you, did I tell you? I don't know if I told you, but I've been making wine. Josh has been teaching me how to make wine. So I made cranberry wine and it is delicious. And I have these big... Well, let me just show you. I have these big things. They're called carboys.
I thought they were called change holders.
No. When you're making wine, they're called carboys.
All right.
So I figured out they hold like 5 to 6 gallons. And so I figured out that I need like 24 of those quarts to make maybe a little bit more, because once I strain the berries off, the cranberries off. But so I may need like 26 quarts or something like that to fill one of those up to make cranberry wine. And I'm really excited about that.
Wow.
So that's what half of them is going to go for. The other half will be like, I actually use them medicinally for like bladder infections and stuff like that. It helps with that. So, yeah.
Well, that's what I thought. I was getting ready to say. I was like, nobody in your house have urinary tract infections then.
Right. Exactly. So, some good stuff.
That's what I thought they used for urinary tract. They always say.
So I've been doing that. I've been going out every morning and petting my new BFF Ginger. And she comes to the fence every morning expecting vanilla wafers, but she doesn't get them every morning. And I had bought, so I bought several boxes on like a Walmart order, and I had them sitting on my counter. Well, apparently my cats like vanilla wafers too, because they knocked one of the boxes onto the floor. I came home, and this has been like 2 days ago. I came home and the box was in the living room, shredded, and the bag that the cookies are in, shredded, and the cookies were gone, and the cats and Loki were in there looking at me like, we don't see no stinking cookies, So everybody's having a heyday with vanilla wafers, and Ginger's probably just like, what the crap?
Yeah.
So, what else is happening?
So she's happy. She's happy up there.
She is. I think so. She comes up to the fence every morning to see me. Like I said, I think she's expecting vanilla wafers, but you know,
she's spoiled. She's spoiled as can be.
She is spoiled. And you know what's funny is that, like, I go out to feed her vanilla wafers, and if Calvin comes up, she headbutts him.
Oh yeah.
She's like, oh no. And so he doesn't, he's real skittish, and he doesn't like to come up to me, but he wants vanilla wafers too. So I'll toss them on the ground, and then she's like looking at my hand to see if there's vanilla wafers. And if she doesn't see any, then she like knocks him in the head and knocks him out of the way and eats them off the ground. I'm like, Ginger, you're not being a good mama right now. You need to let him have some vanilla wafers. And she's just like, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's going well. I'm liking having the cows. What else? We got 2 little small dogs today from a friend that I have at work, that I used to work with. And he's kind of falling on hard times a little bit and can't take care of them. So we have so that's what I do. People call me and they say, well, I need help with my animals. And I guess I'm a shelter now, a cow shelter and a dog shelter, whatever. No, it's fine. I'm just playing. But yeah, that's what's happening.
Wow. Well, I just got back from church a few minutes ago. Wrangling the first graders and everything. It's fun. So did that, and then I took, because you came down Sunday, and we put together all the bleeding control kits.
Yep.
For church. So I got all those. I boxed those things back
Y'all,
up.
let me tell you, we look professional now. Like, who would have ever thought?
Yeah. Those things look good. I showed them to Nicole.
Yeah, they do.
I came in with this whole big box, and I was like, she goes, what's that? I was like, that's all the kits. And so I opened one up and looked at it, and she was like, those look good. And I was like,
yeah, they do.
They look sharp. So I was super proud of them, but I showed her, and she's like, those look nice. So one day this week, I'm going to try to get down there and hang all of them in the classrooms and everything. So, I mean, there's 15 of them to do, so it's going to take a minute to get those things going. Yeah.
Greg, I don't do goats.
No.
Like, I'm sorry, dude. I know you've been trying to get rid of these things.
I'm on the same page. I ain't taking no goats. Well, maybe you can con Bill into buying your goats.
Yeah, Bill might need some goats.
Well, but no. So I got them down to church. At least they're down at church, and hopefully either tomorrow or Friday I can take a few minutes and hang a few of them. So. But then, okay, the funny thing is, I'm also a contractor. Besides doing the whole preparedness and medical and radio and all this stuff, one of the guys called from Warren Rural Electric, which is the electric supplier here. He called me. He's like, hey, project we want you to look at. And I was like, okay, cool. So I ran up there, met with him. Yeah, Bill said, hell no. So I get up there. He's like, here. And I'm like, what's this? He goes, we want to do a bathroom addition onto the warehouse. And I'm like, this is the only plans you've got? And he's like, yeah, the guy drew it out. And he's like, can you build it? I was like, yeah, I can do it. I was like, but we've got to get permits and all this stuff. And he goes, okay. He's like, can we get an architect to draw this? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, I'm not getting an architect to draw this for free for you or nothing. I was like, we've got to have a whole set of plans to do this. And he goes, also, by the way, where we want to put it, he said, the gas line, the electric line, and the water line run right underneath it. And I'm like, just make it hard for me, man. So now you're talking about relocating all these utilities and everything. And I'm like, why not for a third of the money, I can put the new bathroom inside the building? He's like, they don't want to take away from warehouse space. And I'm just scratching my head going, okay. So, I mean, you turn a $40,000 project into a $100,000 project or more to add 2 bathrooms. Wow. And I'm just like, forget it. I was like, I don't know if we're going to do this or not. So.
Greg, really, the best we can do for you, dude, we'll pray for you.
Pray that you can sucker somebody into goats.
And Bill said he just found out that one of their little dogs has congestive heart disease in an advanced stage. We have her medication and she's comfortable, at least as comfortable as she can be. I'm so sorry to hear that, Bill. I know. I mean, our pets are part of our family, and I know that that's hard. That's not fun. And then he said, a smart person never has goats. I had to try them once. I guess I'm not that smart.
Hey, we had that one little goat that the vet brought me. It's like a little dwarf pygmy goat or something. The thing, I mean, you couldn't get a hold of her or nothing. She brought her.
Those are actually kind of cute. Those little pygmy ones.
Yeah, if you're drunk or something, I don't know. But we just called her the drunk midwife. Like, she just hung around and made sure the lambs were born and everything. So I sold her at the auction. She brought good money. And then the other goat I had was some kind of show goat. This lady down around Elkton. My wife found this goat on Facebook or something. She's like, we need to go get this goat. The goat's name was Brownie. It was like some super special show goat and everything. She was a good looking goat. So we gave the girl like $100 for her. That stupid thing did not like me. It would headbutt me all the time. And when I went down there, she'd come to me and I would just like grab her horns and take her where I wanted. So one day when everybody was at work, Brownie got sold to a nice young couple that was going to take her to a real nice place. And I made a few $100 off her. So after that, I was like, no more goats on this property, period.
William Bond told me once that if water can get through it, a goat can get through it. And I've never wanted one. I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. That and with the horns, they get their head stuck in the fence and everything. I cut that one goat out 2 or 3 times. I'm like, you've got to be the stupidest thing I've ever seen. So
now the sheep that we have totally accepted Ginger and Calvin into their herd.
Yeah.
Like when I come home from work, they're out in the field and they're all there eating together. And Calvin gets in the sheep shack and hangs out with them. And Ginger just stands on the outside and looks at them like, I can't fit in there and I hate you or whatever. Yeah. Those dogs keep yapping. I know that you guys can probably hear it. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, another thing, I've started back doing fairly hardcore carnivore. And I tell you what, you feel so much better. And I tell you, my wrists have not cleared up all the way, but I would say they're 60 to 70% better than they were.
That's awesome.
So like, no.
How you doing?
Yeah. God, let's see.
Comfrey Sav arrived today. Yay.
All right. That got there pretty stinking quick. But hey, we're fast on shipping stuff. Usually I ship it that day or the next day.
Yeah.
So I've been making it. I've been getting to my other job a little later here recently because I've been having to take stuff to UPS and the post office. And the post office closest to me doesn't open until like 11 o'clock. And I'm like, I'm not waiting till 11 o'clock. So I just run on up. UPS and the post office are open early.
Okay, it looks like Homestead twins need to hook up with Greg.
Well,
Greg might be able to help you out with that problem that you have right there.
It's going to be a long haul. They're in what, Michigan or Minnesota?
Oh, I thought they were closer. I'm sorry.
No,
maybe not. I don't know.
It's either Michigan or Minnesota. It's up there where they get stupid amounts of snow where I would never live. So I mean, it's just like, no.
Like they're already getting snow. We don't get snow in Kentucky till like what, January? I mean, we've had a couple snow days, but it dusted and then it went away. So yeah.
Yeah. See, they're in the Upper Peninsula.
Oh, there you go. So they get like freezing lake stuff and all that kind of thing.
They're damn near Canadians. So they'll get mad at that, I bet. So, but yeah. Carnivoring it, I'm feeling a heck of a lot better, and I want to keep it up. No sugar and none of that crap. I'm like, I feel so much better. And been eating, I tell you what, last time I did it, On carnivore, I would eat like one meal a day. I would eat like a big monster ribeye and like 3 eggs for dinner, and then I wouldn't eat anything. I might eat like one of the chomps or something like that. But
Yeah.
this time doing it, man, I tell you what, I've been starving all the time and just eating god awful amounts of meat. Because I ate, let me see what I ate yesterday. I stopped in. I got 4 pieces of bacon and 3 scrambled eggs at like 8 o'clock when I was running to get something. And then for lunch, I ate 3 hamburger patties with cheese. And then I came home and ate a ribeye for dinner at like 7 o'clock. I was like, I've eaten so much food. It's stupid today. See, Newman is, I'm about to start carnivore, 3 days fasting, 3 days sardines, then mostly carnivore. Will occasionally have low carb veggie and mushroom soup. What's the longest fast you've ever done, Shelly? You ever done that?
I have done 72 hours, 3 days. I've done a 72-hour fast and just drank water. And if I fast that long, I usually use like Element or something in my water, and it helps to curb my appetite and give me a little bit of energy kind of thing. It just makes me feel better, makes me feel like I'm not hungry. So, but I've done that before.
I think the longest I've ever done has been like 36. And I wasn't really planning on it. I just forgot to eat when I was doing carnivore. And then it's like, oh crap, I'm kind of hungry. And then I started figuring it up. I was like, it's been like 36 hours since I've eaten. So,
once I get past 48 hours, I haven't tried to go further than 3 days, but once I get past that 48-hour mark, it's a lot easier. So I kind of think that I could go longer than 3 days, but I've just never tried it.
Newman said her longest has been 5 days.
One of the things I watched Billy, and have you ever watched this? Is it the Strong? No, not Strongs. I'm not thinking of Patty and Darren, but I can't think of where they're at. Maybe like Virginia or something like that. It's a couple that Billy has had them on his show, but he does fasting quite a bit. But him and Billy were talking one time, and they were talking about, just kind of testing your limits kind of thing. So if you had a situation where, say, stuff went down, grid went down, whatever, what are your limits? Like, how long can you go without food? If you have to start rationing, how many calories do you have to have, and all that kind of stuff. And it really made me stop and think. And that's actually when I started doing longer fasts, I was just trying to see how long can I go before I feel like I need to have food kind of thing. And, but one of the things you need to take into consideration, like you do a physical job, you actually physically use your body to do your job, right? And
I feel it every day.
Right. Or like homesteading, that's a physical job, going out. Even if you're going out and feeding and like moving animals around or something, you're physically exerting yourself. So if you were in that situation that you had to ration food, you still have to have enough calories to be able to do those things that you have to do to live your life. I mean, like to grow food out in the garden or to butcher an animal or whatever it is, you still have to have energy to do that, right? I think it's a great idea to test yourself and see how long you can, and in essence, you would be like training your body, kind of figuring out what works for you and what doesn't. So, and then, knowing, well, if I'm going to go out and work, I've got to have this many calories, or I've got to be able to have this much energy to go do that. I'm about to shoot those dogs.
Wow. Do it off camera, because if you hold a gun on YouTube Live, we get
I know. But yeah, it's a good idea to see how far you can go, see how much you can push your body, or not push your body, but just understand what your limits are,
Oh yeah, yeah, no kidding. Newman makes her own homemade elements. So, and then also, if you're chunks like me, you can go for a good bit. I could probably go for a good bit. I've got a little bit that
I could go for a good bit, definitely.
Yeah. Bill said if he fasted for 3 days, he'd blow away.
He probably would. He ain't lying.
Yeah. I mean, he gained like 3 pounds when we took him to dinner.
Yep.
So, and Rosie's here.
I'm not gonna go Christy Nome on the dogs. It's okay. You guys are just gonna have to listen to it. They're brand new tonight. They're in a strange place. They don't know how to take it. Oh my God. So these dogs, they weigh less than 10 pounds and they're sweet as can be. And they're probably out there barking because they hear me in here talking. And they've kind of they've been, ever since I got home, they've been in my lap. They're just not used to being here. But when we let Loki in, so these dogs weigh less than 10 pounds, and Loki when he stands on his hind legs, he's taller than Randy, and he probably weighs right at 100 pounds. We haven't weighed him recently, but he's our Great Pyrenees. When he walked in, those dogs didn't know whether to crap or go blind, for real. Like, they looked at him. And then the little boy, his name is Otis. The little boy, I was sitting on the couch and he jumped up behind me and he didn't come out. He was like, and every once in a while I could hear him back there yapping, like barking, but he wasn't even barking loud. Like, he wouldn't look around me or nothing. He's like, maybe the dog won't see me if I'm back here. And Loki's not at all mean. He's super friendly dog, but they didn't know what to do with that big dog walking through the house. They were like, they've got a horse or whatever, I'm sure.
Well, shoot, Malone, our little whatever doodle thing that is that Lincoln wanted, she goes down to the livestock guard dogs and stands at the fence and barks at them. And then they come over and bark at her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm good." And she just runs off.
Time to go. I'm done.
So, I tell you, my wife told me, she was like, Joe, our oldest dog, she's getting to be right at 10 years old. And she's like, we might need to start thinking about getting a replacement. So I'm thinking about, not that I want to do anything to her or anything, but it's like, I want to get one where she can train that dog up and everything. So I'm kind of getting in that mode of, I need to look for another dog.
Well, Randy was talking to Forrest about Forrest bringing his female Great Pyrenees up here and breeding her with Loki. And so ever since Randy came home from that conversation, he tells Loki all the time, he's like, we're lining it up, buddy. We're going to get you a girlfriend. It's okay. We're lining it up. I'm like, okay. Yeah, you just keep making promises.
Miss Sharon needs a dog that won't unalive chickens and cats.
Yep.
That's the only thing. The only bad thing about Joe, my oldest one, she hates chickens. And if there's a chicken around, she will find a way to get it. And I'm like, you're too good a dog. I'll just make sure the chickens don't go down there towards her and everything's fine. But every now and then she'll grab a chicken and I'm like, you dirty, rotten dog. So Randy's sending me pictures of the dogs.
He's probably in there watching us on the TV.
Probably. So.
Okay, so right now we have a special going on. If you go to KentuckySustainableLiving.com and click on medical supplies, you can see at the bottom of the screen right down here, you can get soft tourniquets for 20% off with code SOF20, SOF20. And that sale is going to be going on until Friday. So I think it's Friday at midnight is when that goes off. So if you need a tourniquet or 10, you can go to KentuckySustainableLiving.com and get 20% off of those. They're really great tourniquets. What else? I think that's the only special we have going on right now.
That's the only thing right this minute.
Yeah.
We'll probably run some other stuff.
Yeah, we had a bunch of specials going on last week or Black Friday week or whatever.
Man, I
But
think the
yeah,
people
we'll have
sold
some more stuff happening.
the tickets. People hit on those tickets. We might do that again, but we might not. But we sold a ton of
Okay.
tickets.
We did.
And then also, hey, VacMaster, it's vacmasterfresh.com. Use the code Homestead. That'll get you 15% off your order. They're not, y'all missed out on the 25%. That ended the 1st of December. But man,
But if you've never been to their website, that little thing pops up that you can subscribe to their newsletter or something, and you can get, what is it, 10% off or something like that?
Yeah.
So with ours, you'd be getting 25% off. But if you want to wait for a sale, that's doable too. And then ours will stack on top of whatever they're doing.
And I honestly, I'm getting ready to buy me another one to put down here when I start doing the kitchenette. When I do it, because mine is a monster one, and it's too big to keep in the house. I mean, we keep it down in the shop to process stuff, but it's a pain in the butt taking stuff down there and sealing it up. So I'm like, I'm going to buy one of these, and I should have bought one before December 1st because I missed out on 25% off. So, but I'll wait.
All right, Newman. Everybody listen to Newman and go get you some tourniquets.
I've got, man, tourniquets in my truck. There's 4 that I can count right now, right offhand, 4 tourniquets in my truck in different places. So pretty much if you're riding around with 4 people in a truck, everybody's got a tourniquet. So.
Well, if you're riding around with Jason, you probably need them.
Hey, I drove fine. We did not have any problems coming back from Tennessee. I drove slow and was careful.
So. You did drive slow. That was a little scary.
Well, it was dark, and the roads I really didn't know, and I hate driving at night anymore. So that, and you get that stupid, the star bright, from all the vehicles coming, and I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can't ever have too many tourniquets. So I think I've got 100 of them sitting in front of me right now. They're not mine though. They're the businesses.
Yeah.
So, and then there's I think there's 4 or 5 sitting behind me on the shelf too. So, all right, guys. Hey, you got a news article?
I do have a news article. Some of you all may have seen this today. It kind of broke the internet today, I think. So let me see if I can share my screen. I'm pretty sure I can.
I've been offline today, so I don't know what broke the internet.
This has cracked me up. Absolutely cracked me up. Do y'all see this? Okay, this is a legit story. This happened in Virginia. That thing laying next to the toilet is a raccoon. He came through the ceiling of this liquor store. He or she, I don't know if it's a boy or girl, came through the ceiling of the liquor store, busted up about $250 worth of liquor, knocked them off shelves and stuff, drank the liquor or, licked it up off the floor, and then went and passed out in the bathroom right next to the toilet. When they came in, when the people who own the liquor store came in the next morning and saw this mess, they went and looked on video cameras, and sure enough, there's this raccoon running through the store, knocking this crap off of shelves and stuff and busting bottles. And so they go in the bathroom, and this thing is sound asleep. You see it, legs sprawled out, everything, sound asleep next to the toilet in the bathroom. They called animal control. And animal control came and picked him up, took him back to wherever animal control goes. And this thing slept for another 4 hours and woke up, and they checked it. A vet checked it out. It was fine. There wasn't nothing physically wrong with it. And so they took it and released it back into the wild, wherever it was at. And I'm just like, oh my God. I said, okay. First of all, the first thing I said to Ray, the girl that I share an office with, I'm like, I feel like I need that as a pet.
Yeah.
I feel like this raccoon needs to come live with me. And then I said, that raccoon went back out in the wild and was like, y'all, I have got the place for you.
I found Party Central.
Right? But it has just cracked me up. This story and that raccoon just sprawled out next to the toilet. I have laughed my butt off. It's so funny.
That is pretty funny. I mean, the picture of it with it passed out in the bathroom, that brings back memories of college, of walking in the bathroom, and some of my fraternity brothers are like passed out in the bathroom. I tell you, the funniest thing, one of my fraternity brothers, he would get drunk as could be at a party, and we'd come back to the fraternity house. Almost, I mean, half the time we would find him the next morning. He would have nothing on but his cowboy hat and cowboy boots and be passed out on the toilet. And I'm like, dude, what? I was like, I could understand if you were passed out and had your pants on and your pants down with your boots on. But I'm like, why do you have nothing on but your boots and your cowboy hat and you're passed out on the toilet? I'm like, you like had to think about this. And he's like, I don't remember nothing. And I'm like, oh gosh.
All of the reporters that were reporting on this, they were like, almost every one of them, they were like, we remember those days from college.
Yeah.
It's like, that's so funny.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
a question. Is the Noble Brooks that's in the comments, is that the Noble Brooks that I know? Just comment and let me know. You know who you are.
Bill said, had a friend who fed their pigs fermented pumpkins. Yeah. I've heard that, people feeding the mash from making alcohol.
Yeah.
And it'll get them drunk. My dad told me several times.
Well, a lot of the distilleries around Kentucky, you can take containers up there and they'll fill them up for free, and you can feed them to your hogs or whatever, and it's really nutritious. Hey, it is Noble. Hey.
All right.
So yeah, that's the big news story for today.
We got a drink. Hey, I've got a story about a raccoon. I was dating this girl in high school. We were sitting at her house, at her parents' house, watching a movie. Heard the awfulest racket outside, and this is honest to God truth. Heard this racket outside. So I open the front door and I look, and I'm like, what in the hell is going on? This dude has got a rope, and there's something on it running around. And I hollered him. I'm like, dude, what is going on? It's like 11 o'clock at night. He was like, I live next door. He was like, I heard something in a trash can. A raccoon had gotten its head stuck in a peanut butter jar.
Oh, my God.
And he had taken a rope and wrapped around its neck trying to get it off. And I was like, why didn't you just take a hammer and just break the jar? He goes, it's a plastic jar. And I was like, all right. So I walk over to him, shine a flashlight. He's like, I've been trying to pull this raccoon out. Dude's arms were just nasty, scraped up and everything. And I'm like, I'm not getting in this. I was like, you need to take your raccoon and go get in your yard and just be quiet and get out of here. So finally he wrestled that raccoon and got the peanut butter jar off its head. And I mean, this dude was scraped all to pieces. And I'm like, that's crazy.
I have the best raccoon story of all time.
All right.
Like, have I told you this story?
Uh-uh.
Okay, so there's a campground that is east.
Oh yeah, you told me this.
No, west of Indianapolis. It's called Raccoon Lake. Like that's the lake out there. And we used to go camping out there when we lived in Indianapolis. And so this has been, like, Jessica she'll be 36 this year, I think. And she was like 3 when this happened, right? So it's been a long time ago. So we go camping with our best friends at the time, and they're late everywhere that they go. They're going to be late to their own funeral for real. And so we didn't roll into the campground until 11 o'clock at night. Okay. We get there, we've got to set up our tent, all of that stuff. And Stacy and I would always go to Aldi and buy our food that we were taking camping. And, like when you shop at Aldi, you have to put everything in boxes. Like back then, they didn't even have bags that you could buy. You just walk around and picked up boxes, right? So we would go and get all of the supplies that we needed for camping. So we get to the campground. We go to start unpacking everything. And Stacy and I are taking all of the boxes, getting everything out of her van. And we look over, and Charles and Randy are at the campfire, or the fire ring. There wasn't a fire, but they're at the fire ring, and they're like, they had their backs to us, and they're like talking to something. And I look around, and there's a raccoon that's standing like 2 feet away from them. And it's like got its little paws up in the air and chirping at them and making all these noises and stuff. And they're like, oh my God, look how close it is. Like, it's coming right up to us. And so they're totally preoccupied with this raccoon, right? Stacy and I are at the van getting stuff out of the van, and we turn around, and there's, like, no joke, a dozen raccoons on the picnic table stealing all of our food. While Randy and Charles are preoccupied with the one guy standing 2 feet away from them, like trying to communicate, right? And they had no idea. I turn around and I scream, and I'm like, they've got our food. Like, they had all of our bread and donuts, whatever we had that they could take off with. They ran out in the woods. All of our food was gone.
That is funny.
Yeah. So it was like this whole effort. I mean, this little guy was like, okay, I'm going to distract them, and you steal all the crap. The next morning, there was all these wrappers and everything out in the woods. We made them go clean it up. I was like, it's your fault that the woods are trashed now. Go clean all that up. Yeah. We had to go buy more food. It was ridiculous.
Miss Sharon put on here, major recall, 27 brands of shredded cheese and 31 states.
I heard about this. I heard
about that. She put a link in there too.
Yeah. It said that there's metal in the cheese. And it's like Walmart, Kroger, and somewhere else, maybe Aldi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Noble said he was the decoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we got like 23 minutes to talk about our topic.
We got longer than 23 minutes. We don't have to end right at 9.
Okay, we've got like 2 minutes until my bedtime.
2 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so our topic tonight is financial preparedness. And the reason I picked this topic for tonight is because, I don't know, like toward the end of the year, I'm always thinking about what's my next year going to look like, and where do I want to be at? And a lot of times that, you know, I'm thinking about where I want to be at with the homestead, with my job, with you know, like saving, whatever, all of that stuff. And usually a lot of that evolves around finances, right?
Yeah. At the end of the year, I'm thinking, man, I need to buy some stuff because I don't want to pay taxes.
Right.
That's my thing. It's like, oh crap. And it's like, I need a tax write-off is what I need. So I go buy, and honestly, what I do, and I was talking to somebody about this today, Milwaukee and DeWalt both run smoking deals at Christmas time on tools and drill bits and driver bits and all that. So I go at Christmas and buy all my drill bits and all my impact driver bits I'm going to need for the year. So I'll go buy like 10 sets and do it that. Because, I mean, you're getting them cheap. And I'm like, then I don't have to buy driver bits and drill bits for the rest of the year and just take it all off.
Good idea.
Once. So, but I don't know.
If you're thinking about, if you're talking about preparedness, we always talk about, this is what you have to have in your bug out bag, or this is what you need to have, you know, how much food you need to have on hand if a blizzard comes, or, you know, all of those kind of preparedness things. Do you think about being financially prepared? And I think a lot of the people that are in our chat, and a lot of the people that watch our show, and a lot of the people that come to the festivals, and a lot of the people in the circles that we run around with, you know, to hear them talk, I feel like they have a good grasp on this. You know, like one of the things that you need to do is have an emergency fund. Yep. If you subscribe to Dave Ramsey, he says that you should have at least $1,000. That should be one of the first things that you do. I mean, you eventually want to have, especially if you're working a job, you eventually want to have like 6 months worth of being able to pay your bills in an emergency fund. But, you know, If you don't have that, your first goal can be that $1,000. And that's a great cushion to have, like if you blow a tire or you need to fix your water heater or, something like that. Those things that throw a curveball at you and mess things up, that $1,000 is a good cushion to have, right?
Well, I mean, if you got $1,000 in the bank as an emergency fund and you don't touch that for anything, it gives you some time, it gives you options, and it gives you some, peace of mind. Because if you don't have that, anything turns into an emergency. I mean, every little bit is an emergency. It's the end of the world. If you blow a tire and you're like, holy crap, it's going to be $250 for a new tire. Where am I going to get the money? You're going to stick it on a credit card, and then you're going to pay 40% interest. That $250 tire is going to cost you $700 when you finally pay it off.
Right.
So it's a lot of peace of mind stuff that it's just like, hey, I can do this. And it does help you out a lot in life. Your stress level will go way down.
Yeah. It just gives you that cushion, Yeah. And then even if you have to have like a sick day at work, you're still going to be able to buy groceries, still going to be able to put gas in your car, that kind of thing. So it helps. Another point about this is bartering, which we had Grumpy from Grumpy Acres on here, Grumpy and Angela. We had both of them on here. And we talked about bartering. He was, gave us some tips on the best way to do that. That is a skill that not a lot of people have. And honestly, I am one of those people. Like, I'm not saying that I can't barter. I can barter. But I'm also not one of those people that like some people will go to yard sales and it's their goal to get it cheaper than the price that you have listed on whatever it is that you're selling.
Oh yeah.
I am not that person. I am the one that I'm like, you tell me what you want for it, and then I'll decide if I want to pay that. I'm not going to come back and be like, oh, he has $5 on it, I'm going to see if he'll take $4 kind of thing. Very rarely will I do that, but that is, and that's not, well, okay, let me take that back. That's not really bartering, is it? That's kind of haggling.
That's Jewing.
Yeah, that's derogatory.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Jeez.
I'm sorry if I offended.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I offended any Jewish people here.
But so bartering is like trading stuff. And really it comes down to, like according to Grumpy, it comes down to, what the stuff that you're getting rid of, what kind of value you place on that, and then how bad you need whatever you're bartering for, what kind of value you place on that, So, he always says, if both of you walk away happy, it's a good deal. You made a good deal.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter what it was, or, if both of you are happy with the trade, then it was a good deal. But right now is a time to practice those skills, right?
Yeah. I mean, barter. I barter. What? I thought you were going to go on something about, but yeah, I mean, I do. I barter stuff. I mean, that and trading and doing stuff like that. I mean, I've had people do work and do some stuff for me, and then I trade off doing work at their house, stuff like that. Yeah,
you have a job that really leads to that or lends to that, don't you? I mean, you're able to do that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've done stuff like that before. I had one of the boys come out and help me with some electric stuff on pulling some wire, and then I traded him some stuff out at his house. And so we trade that. The cool thing about bartering is the 3-letter agencies don't get their cut. And I love cutting those people out of stuff.
Well, and Miss Sharon just said, I believe a time will come when bartering will be dangerous.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's possible.
Yeah, they're going to figure out a way to tax bartering. But now it's just like the whole brace for ARs. Nothing was said about this until a bunch of people got on the internet and they're like, look, I can shoulder my AR-15 because I've got a brace on it. And that's when the ATF really, sunk their teeth into it. But that's all cleared up now. As long as people don't get on there and say, well, I started with this and I traded and I got $10,000 of stuff done and I did, this for them and there's no tax stuff. If people get on there and do stuff like that, yeah, the government's going to crack down a lot more. But I mean, it would be hard to do on a massive scale.
Yeah.
And then also, if you're going to have the new digital currency and all that kind of crap, if you want to stay off the radar, I mean, you're going to have to do some bartering stuff and trading with people.
I don't know that and maybe it's just my ignorance, but I don't know that I trust digital currency because it just seems to me that if everything goes down, doesn't the digital currency go down too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bill says it's like me working on a buddy's truck and he's getting me some more chickens for my labor and he's supplying the parts. There you go.
Oh yeah. Bill
also had a question up here about drill bits. Did you see that?
Yeah, I was going to get to it. Bill, I use Milwaukee drill bits for everything. I mean, if you're drilling some heavy metal stuff, you might want to get some that are straight just for metal. And Milwaukee makes all kinds of different ones, but we're usually drilling in light gauge metal. But Milwaukee makes, I'm a red and black guy. So that's what I do is all Milwaukee stuff. And I'll break bits sometimes, but that's why we buy like a dozen bit sets and run through them each year. Noble says,
I agree, Noble. I don't trust it either.
Yeah. So,
I know a lot of people that do it and they're fine with it, and that's fine. It's all your level of risk that you're willing to take or lose or whatever. It's whatever you can, not stress about. And so I don't know. I just have this. It doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy,
Hell, I don't trust banks. I keep very little money in the bank. You know that, Shelly.
Yep. I'm
like, if I've got to buy something big, I go put greenbacks in the bank and then buy it online. I mean, I just don't. All that stuff can go down, and then all your ones and zeros that are in your bank account go to all zero, and it's like, ooh, I ain't got no money, but I've got my big hoard of money that I'm swimming in like Scrooge McDuck every night and everything down in the safe. So,
but there's this whole ever since getting into homesteading and then going to festivals and meeting people and meeting preppers or preparedness type people and beginning to learn all of these things, it's put me in a mindset of looking at those kind of things. So just for example, I might go to, I went to an auction Monday night and they had a bunch of ammo there and some case knives and stuff like that. And I didn't end up buying anything, but there have been times in the past that I've gone to the auction and bought things. And some of those things may not be things that I even need, but I got a really great price on it. In my mind, I'm sitting there thinking I could barter that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm a hoarder. I'm not a hoarder, but it's stuff. I do have like a tote full of stuff that doesn't take up much space. And I know that, well, one, if my thing that I have of that breaks, I have a backup because, if you only have one is none and two is one, right? But it's also one of those things that I know that I could trade somebody for something because it's a useful tool or whatever. And I had never thought about stuff like that before. I had never looked at things like that and thought about, at some point that might help me, or, like we have 5 daughters, it might help one of them. So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Part of my goal is to be the hardware store in a grid down deal.
You could totally do that. That whole wall you have in your garage, like it's funny. Every time I go over there, I look at stuff on that wall and I see things that I didn't see the last time I was there. And how many times have I been in your shop? Like probably 50 times or something. And I still see things that I didn't see the last time.
Oh yeah. I mean, I keep all that extra screws, bolts, nuts, all kinds of stuff. I mean, hell, there's enough stuff to build half a house down there probably. But it's all stuff I use. And the thing is, the way it starts is then I can go down there and find screws and bolts and stuff that I need instead of running to Lowe's. So I mean, it saves money.
This is a great idea. She says, grab up every old file that you can. That's something that only a master can remake, and they can be used to make other things. That's a great idea.
Well,
for bartering, yeah.
And Bill says he bought some DeWalt metal bits. Bill, if you're drilling heavy oil or heavy steel, you need to put some cutting oil on that thing, and it'll last a lot longer. So I know it's kind of old school to put the cutting oil, but it will make a bit last longer.
He says, we have started using a mason bank. We always squirrel away money in a mason jar.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool.
There may or may not be money buried at my house.
Never know.
As long as the pigs don't root it up.
Right.
Just don't put it with the pigs. You go out there.
Bartering, emergency fund is important. Bartering is definitely important. Bartering is something that you're going to need if we have like an SHTF situation, or, you know, you just, I mean, it doesn't even have to be that situation. You can trade off work with people and do things like that. Another big thing, and this is something that Tag from Life Done Free, I mean, he talks about this all the time. Eliminating debt. Hopefully y'all out there don't have a lot of debt, but you know, some of us, including Randy and I, still paying for our farm, but that's a big deal. And the closer you can get to not having that stuff, and getting to the point that maybe you only have to pay the taxes on your place instead of everything else, that's a good idea. Work toward eliminating that debt. And there's all kinds of plans out there, programs out there to help you do that, spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff. It boils down to discipline, right? Oh
yeah. And I mean, it's biblical, you know, what is it? The debtor is slave to the lender.
Yeah.
I mean, they've always got your thumb on you, and they can make you do. I mean, but now the system's set up to always be in debt and keep you in debt all your life. I mean, the student loans, they're like, oh, you can pay these back for 30 years. And it's like, you're going to walk around with a 30-year shackle around your neck. I mean,
have you heard about the 50-year mortgages?
That's the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I know. It's like disgusting.
Yeah. What? I watched something on that, and it used to be that the 30-year mortgage was not even a thing. When people were building their houses, they would get a construction loan, and it was like a short-term loan to do it. And then they would pay these houses off like super fast. But of course, that was when you could go work at a factory job. We'll quote factory job, and have a pension and a retirement and everything. And, you know, the husband could feed his family of 4 or 5, you know, but the system keeps evolving. That's the whole feminist thing. You know, that's why the feminist movement came around, is because the powers that, you know, shouldn't be are like, oh, we can do this feminist movement, make the wives get out in the workforce, and we're going to get more taxes.
Right.
And then we can get the kids to go to school all the time, and the parents are both working, and then we can indoctrinate the kids. So it's a whole system.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 100% system. It's made to keep you in debt. Now they're financing cars for what, 84 months?
Yeah.
And if you look at it, everything that comes up, it's like you trash your truck. My truck's 10 years old. I'm going to drive it till the wheels absolutely fall off, and then I might fix it. but I'm not going to go buy a new truck. But it's that constant debt cycle of keeping you there. And you've got to have that new truck. You've got to have a new F-350 trimmer and pay $125,000 for the thing. And then you're going to finance it for 84 months. It's
my truck is paid off and it is old and I am not getting a new one. Like, it is going to have to literally fall apart.
Yeah. I mean, but it does. But once you get out of debt, you know, once you get out of debt, you've got so much more freedom to do stuff. I mean, it's crazy. You can look. The lawnmower's worth. Yeah. So
I feel you, Noble.
Yeah, I mean it is. Once you're out of debt, you've got so much more freedom to do stuff. And then either you can start your preparedness, throw that money into preparedness and stuff like that, or you can start stocking it away for retirement stuff. I mean, the only places I have accounts with, any kind of credit accounts with, is the concrete company from when we used to pour concrete all the time, and then one of the lumber yards. And I very rarely use the account on the lumber yard. A lot of the times, if I have to special order something, I can call up there, special order it, and I'm like, stick it on my account. And then that way I don't have to run in there and pay for it right then. And then at the end of the month, when I get the bill, I run up there and pay them, and I don't keep a balance on it. So, but yeah, I mean, if you're running the credit card cycle all the time, it's gonna get you and eat your lunch pretty quick.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Let's see, Miss Sharon. I will buy the oldest truck I can find if she hits the lottery.
There you go.
Hey, there's something to be said about older vehicles. And
well, they won't stop if there's an EMP, right?
Yeah.
You get one old enough.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. Now there's a lot of stuff, financial freedom, and we hadn't really gone into this. But one thing is you're paying so much in taxes. If you can get your tax liability down as far as you can, you need to start a business. If you have a business, you can write so much more stuff off. But you got to be careful. If you don't show a profit in so many years, the IRS is like, no, that's a hobby. We're not going to do this anymore. But part of the financial freedom is not just working a 9-to-5 job. It's start a side gig on stuff. I mean, start the side gig, do this, and it can move into a full-time job. Yeah. I mean, the only bad thing is if you treat a side gig like a side gig, it's always going to be a side gig. If you treat it like full,
But it's good to have multiple income streams. It's good to not have all your eggs in one basket kind of thing. Yeah.
Jeanette showed up.
Hey, there's Jeanette. Hey, Jeanette.
Then Miss Sharon.
Oh, I like that. Freedom Friday.
I want to write it down. Well, what can we do?
I like that.
What can we do Freedom Friday?
Well, you could continue talking about financial stuff, or you could talk about, there's all kinds of freedom things you can talk about. You should do that every Friday.
I might. I don't know. That's a lot. We could do that. But I mean, honestly, setting up, having a business and having an LLC is going to take your tax burden down a whole bunch. Because think about it. You're using your vehicle, your car, your truck, you're using it for business, then you can write some of it up. And Army Girl Vet's here. I hadn't seen, she hadn't caught a live in a while. How are you? Miss Sharon said
she was thinking of financial freedom. Yep. All right. You could continue this talk on Friday. I
could be the next Dave Ramsey.
I don't know about all that, but you can talk about some stuff.
I tell you this, and I will be 100% truth in advertising. I have never once lived on a budget in my life. And you probably realize that, Shelley.
Yeah, I know that.
And the only reason I have not lived on a budget, and I'm not bragging about it, is when I got out of college, I worked for two outfits in, quote, the corporate construction world. It wasn't going to work out. I started my own business. So my whole thing was, hey, if I want to buy this, I'm going to figure out a way to buy it, and I'm just going to sell more jobs. I'm going to sell more contracting jobs, more concrete jobs. And it's like, hey, if I need money, it's like, dude, I can go find extra jobs. So I've always been, it's like, I will find the jobs and figure out a way to make the money for the stuff that I want. And it's like, whatever, we're not gonna go live on a budget. It's kind of cool if you got that mindset. It's like, I'm gonna bust my butt to make enough money to where I don't have to live on the budget. And I mean, that's where
I totally have a budget mindset.
I don't. I have absolutely none.
I want to know where my stuff is going and what's coming in and all of that.
It used to drive Mike Shepard.
Hey, Mike Shepard's in here. Hey, Mike.
It drives my wife insane. She will budget and have her grocery list of what she's going to buy at the grocery, and then when I go with her, I just like blow the whole thing. Like we're walking down there, it's like, oh, they've got a sale on this. Let's buy some extra of this. And she's like, she just takes her list and is like, forget it. And I'm like,
it makes me a little insane because when I start talking to you about KSL budget stuff, like you just glaze over and it's like, we're not getting anywhere here.
But we find a way to make the money for stuff. That's
I know.
Like, honestly, if I wanted to go buy a brand new truck, if I had it in my mind, it's like, I want a new F-350 King Ranch, $150,000 truck. If I wanted one of those, boom, I'm going to go out and find a way to get the money to do it. But I really don't want one of those. So it's like, I'm not going to kill myself to get a depreciating thing. So, let me see. Great advice. My papa was born in 1919. He told me as a kid that you don't have nothing without a little piece of dirt. And if you can't pay cash for something, you don't need it. Also, never trust the banksters. 100%. The only banker I trust is the one that I go to church with, and he doesn't have any of my money, so I trust him. So, I don't know. But we can do, I don't know. Could I do like a financial freedom Friday and talk about starting a business?
You could.
I might do that. Would anybody be interested? Put a 1 in the chat if you'd be interested in that. Because I've had my construction business since 2002. So we're going on 23 years. All right. We might do that. All right. Bill wants to know. That's all that matters.
So we've talked about having an emergency fund. We've talked about bartering skills. We've talked about eliminating debt. All of those things are important, but definitely be working on those bartering skills because that's the one thing that, you know, that's a skill that can help you quite a bit. Let's just leave it there.
Oh yeah. All right. Apparently everybody wants to know about that. So I guess I'm gonna have to do that on Friday.
Starting a business.
Yeah. Because I mean I've started one by myself, and then we started KSL together. So should I be considered a halfway expert by doing 2 businesses? None of the businesses I've started have failed yet, so I'm batting 1,000 on that deal. So
there's a lot of things that I've learned about business since starting KSL with you. Yeah. So, yeah.
And I've helped some other people get started in contracting and doing some stuff like that. So, which is kind of weird because like both my parents were self-employed. All the time that they worked, they were self-employed. So it's like, and then my brother neither one of my parents were self-employed.
I thought your dad was a teacher.
Yeah, both my parents worked for somebody, and then my brother works for somebody too. So like, I'm the only one that's been like, I'm going to strike out on my own and start my own business. So I don't know. Maybe it'll keep it up, and my kids will be. Well, my oldest son's doing a little bit of contracting right now. He calls me for advice every now and then. So I've been giving him some advice on stuff. So hopefully he'll strike out and start his own deal. So, all right, Shelly, I know you're ready for bed. And I got some orders and stuff like that to go through, and I would probably have to go to UPS in the morning. So, not that I'd mind. The only bad thing is the UPS store is right by Rafferty's, and when I go, Rafferty's smokes all their ribs and everything like in a real wood burning smoker. So the guys are out there with the smoker going like first thing in the morning to get the ribs for lunch, and it's right there. And I pull up the UPS store and I'm like, oh my God, it smells so good. I was like, I want some ribs right now. So that's the only crappy part about going. So, all right, guys, I will be back Friday, and I guess I will do a show on starting a business and how to do that. I am not a financial expert or an IRS expert, even though I've dealt with the jerks several times before. But I guess we'll do that. I'll be here Friday morning, 8 o'clock. If you need anything, run to the website, grab it. If you need any questions answered, email Shelly or I, and we appreciate you being here. Shelly, you got anything?
I'm good.
All right.
I hope y'all have a fantastic week.
Yeah. A fantastic weekend, too. So, all right, guys, we appreciate it. Both of us will be back Wednesday, 8 o'clock, same time, same bat channel. Remember when they said that on Batman?
Same bat time, same bat channel. Yep. Yeah.
So, all right, guys, I appreciate it, and I will see y'all Friday morning. Have a good one.
See ya.